Welcome to the Don't Die Rusty podcast. I'm Rick Hanson, and we will be talking about living, not dying. We're all on this adventure together, and we will be interviewing people who inspire us to live our best lives. People with various backgrounds who will walk us down the trails they took to not die rusty. Adventure and life are many things to many people. It could be a sprint or an endurance race, but with each adventure, we become a better version of us. We hope you keep chasing those dreams, being the best you, and of course, don't die rusty. Hello, Don't Die Rusty Nation. It's been a bit. I lost my voice, and then last week I was up helping my cousin elk hunt, and that's just some of the places that give me peace, and I had a lot of time to think because, of course, the tragedy with Charlie Kirk was a big thing last week, and I had a lot of calls. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but I had a few calls. And actually, Ashley Kurtenbach and I sat and talked about the assassination with each other, just trying to figure things out about the world. And, then we talked about Irna, the Truska, the school shootings. We talked about a lot of things. And I didn't want to do a episode where I was emotional or so emotional because it was just a fresh pain, and I got to think, and there's a song Colby Acuff sings, "If I Were the Devil," and he talks about if the devil came up here and was walking the earth, which it's an interesting song, and he says, "I don't know if the devil's me, I don't know if the devil's you," but the devil has been walking around this world for a long time. And it's funny because in the song it goes, at the end of the song, he says that the devil would go back to hell and tell the demons that hell is a much better place than the world he was walking, because it's so dangerous and it's just not a good place to be up above here. And now, you know what? I understand with tragedy because I can't get it out of my mind. And I'm scrolling through social media because I heard Charlie Kirk had died. And then I saw that video of him being shot. And I couldn't believe that it was on social media, like showing the death, showing blood, and showing just the gore. And I'm no stranger to death. I mean, I hunt, and I've seen, like we talked in earlier episodes, I've seen my mom die. And I just don't think that there is a sensitivity anymore to people seeing people die. I mean, I didn't know what I was watching at the time, so I didn't know if it was real or AI, but I didn't rewatch it. And it was scary to me in some aspects, because even with Erna Zatruska, I hope I'm saying her name right, we saw her get attacked on the train. And then the school shootings. And here's the deal. Don't Die Rusty is about being the best you, chasing your dreams, living your best life. And I'm not trying to make this a political or I thing, but until we look into ourselves, until we see the right and wrong, until we know that what we are saying is not, what people are saying is that their way is the only way. I can't believe that we'll just take the Chicago mayor saying that crime is getting under control. We see that it's not. And I can't believe how the mainstream media, who I have stopped watching because I feel they're like snakes in the grass, which one's going to bite you because they don't tell the truth. They don't. Because I see the violence, and I'm so happy I live in South Dakota, but I see the violence of just like this year burning Teslas. See the supposed peaceful riots, more or less. Burning, you don't need to burn things down. Everybody was praying. They were filling stadiums to pray for Charlie Kirk. And yet, we see things in a different manner. Why? Why can't we see the right and wrong? Why can't, when we look into, I'm not saying I was a saint. I was certainly a sinner when I was younger. Not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I'm the best person in the world. But here's the deal. I admit that I made errors. And I know people out there that know I made errors in life. But the thing is, I ask a question on how to make myself better. And the way to make yourself better is to look within yourself. The way to make yourself better is to pray. The way to make yourself better is ask people who have had life experiences, who have been to these dark places, and they can show you the way out. I may get angry at times at how the world is going, and I have been attacked. And it's interesting because I've been attacked by family members that don't like some of the ways I'm thinking, and I think I'm pretty center. But they attack and they attack, and I would let it roll off. I would maybe say a few things, but I hate it when people say educate yourself. Well, I have educated myself, and I do read things, and I read a lot of different things. I watch a lot of different videos. I do see things. And, you know, I don't like the hatred that I see from them, just pure hate. And because I'm center right, and I don't believe the way they do, but that's besides the point. And I used to think that I'd just let them go, and they would run themselves into the dirt. And more or less, I'm saying, I just let them look stupid, and everybody will laugh at them and whatever. But I'm done with that. I'm going to start defending how I believe and what I really truly believe in. And I believe that there is evil in this world, and I believe that there's also good. And and I believe that here's the what lucky thing. The lucky thing is that I had a mom and people around me that gave me roots with faith. And at the time when you're in high school, or even later, you don't realize the roots that ground you. I had a, I am lucky to have the mom and dad that I had, and I'm lucky that I grew up the way I did. And like I said, I I certainly am not the most perfect person in the world, and I had to learn things the hard ways at times and made some poor decisions. But in all this, I think the good decision was that I had the roots to start going in the right direction. I probably put my mom and dad through hell when I was in high school. I was doing, I was, I, I was listening to Motley Crue and like loud music and just ran it into, you know, I was trying to spread my wings and I was trying to be something different. I was trying to find myself, and I wish I could have had the cliff notes, but I'm like happy I didn't, because when you don't have the cliff notes, you miss the parts that help you grow. So where I'm going with this is I'm just lucky that I had the roots that I grew up with. And like I said, I want to look introspectively into myself. And I want the world to start looking at the introspectively in themselves. Stop making excuses for people that keep on making mistakes, hurting people. Stop doing that. And it's not the weapon that kills people, it's the people that kill people. I have guns in my house, I have knives, I have whatever else, I have bow and arrows. I mean, like I said, I'm a hunter. But they don't kill in this house. We have to look at the people, and we have to look at, stop making, like I said, we have to stop making excuses for them. I I just truly believe that we have to start getting these values back, and I honestly think that through the assassination of Charlie, through the uh, killing of Erna, through the school shootings which happened so quickly together, I think the world is waking up to this sleeping lion or this sleeping giant that of faith. I think we are starting to see people fighting back for the moral and ethical values that we have seemed to have lost. And I, like I said, I for one am going to keep on fighting. I'm going to keep on. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. I believe in being the best me. To be the best me, you have to believe in yourself, and to believe in yourself, you have to start sticking up for yourself. And I'm going to keep doing that. Um, in with these deaths, like I said, I listened to Kobe Yakoff, and then I started listening to a few other songs, and I watch a few different shows too, and they gave me something to think about. And one of the things I was thinking about, and it was a song, and came on the radio, and it was "Broken Halos" by Chris Stapleton, and he says in it, "Don't go looking for the reasons. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by." Because I think a lot of people ask Jesus why. Why does this happen? Why do we lose the people that we love? Why does this have to happen to us? And then I think slowly we find out why. We have found in our heart that these are the reasons things happened. And I was up in the woods saying, why do these things happen to happen? And then I wrote this down because it was one of those things that hit me hard. It's like every time something bad happens, you ask, why Jesus does this happen to me? Or why God does this happen to me? And then maybe a year later, maybe a week later, you find out why things happen. Like I said, I was angry and sad and didn't want to be all over this. But I think I'm going to have a episode with the Ricktastics and we'll just discuss the world and where it's at right now. But I just wanted to talk about this. And I believe that it's time to stop letting the fools run the show. Like, stop letting these people that scream into their screens and act like total idiots and tell people to go do stupid things and to believe that you're something you're not. Stop. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to stop being so passive anymore. And I'm going to stick up for what I believe in because I think to do that says who you are. And I'm not going to, social media wise, and this podcast is not going to be that way. It's going to keep on talking to people and just trying to find the best ways to find the best us. But I just wanted to let this one out. And you know what? You know what I'm really proud of is I've seen a lot of 18 to 22, 23, probably up to 25. And I see these kids and they make me proud because they're starting to make the choices that I wish I would have made when I was 20. They know what they want to do. They're sticking up for what they believe in. They have faith. They're working hard. They're being the best selves. I see so many people, so many young kids these days making me proud. Like, I wish I would have had my what together to do this. Because do what they're doing. I see my young nieces and nephews like working their butts off and raising families and just working hard and trying to chase their dreams. And that's the most amazing and precious thing in this world to me, because that is amazing in itself. Because I think these young people get attacked, and I'm seeing a lot of good stuff coming. Look at the college campuses that are changing. That is amazing to me. So I'm really happy to see that. I wonder, I've always questioned, as soon as a vehicle, people get into a vehicle, there is a screen in front of these kids. There is, there is something about putting these screens in front of kids. They don't look out the window. They're using their imagination. They're bored quickly. And I look, and yeah, we didn't have screens when I was a kid, but you know what? We had books and we had imaginations. And I look at us trying to be something like I wanted to be Evil Knievel one day and a mountain man the next or whatever else. I read about this stuff. I read about, stories, and I wanted to live that lifestyle at times. But I think by putting screens in front of kids just so they won't cry on your trips, my gosh, we got to learn. We have umpires, we have referees in kids' games. We have parents that are yelling at their kids like they're professionals and they're 8 to 10 years old. And we have parents yelling at referees because there's a bad call here or whatever. And I enjoyed, when are we going to let kids be kids, and when are we going to let, like, we used to have to round up girls and boys and of all ages just to be able to play in our little town that I grew up in. And then we had to make our own calls. And I think that's some of the problems, is because we are not helping anybody by having referees, having umpires, having whatever, because we aren't discussing face to face what's wrong. Like, was he out? Was he safe? Was she out safe? Did they catch the ball? Was there pass interference? Was there traveling if you're playing basketball? Whatever. And we had to make those decisions when you played pickup, whatever. And I think we have lost kids being kids. And I think we have lost how to talk to each other because of that. I ask a ton of questions, and some of them are never answered. Some of them are. Some of them I look up. Some of them I go talk to the right person. But when do we... if you know me, which I hope you're getting to, I like to talk to people. I like to find out why you tick. I believe in the human experience. I don't want to just talk to you in a text, and I just don't want to just not be in person. I mean, some of my guests here are, of course, online, and some of them are in person, but I get to know them. I talk to them on the phone. I get to build relationships. And that is so important these days. Relationships are very, very important. And you know what? I'm a Ted Lasso fan, and I think it was the first season at the end, and he said, "It was the hope that kills you." And he said, "I believe it's a lack of hope that kills you." Do you believe in miracles? And do you believe in yourself? And I've always had hope. I believe in hope. I believe that we can all change and become a better person. I believe that we can live our best lives. I believe that we are here to do something good in this world. And it's up to us to figure out what we are here to do. And my life has changed throughout the years. And like I said, I have certainly made a lot of mistakes, and I've done a lot of good things too. And when you start realizing that you do good things, that's when you start building confidence. And when you start building confidence, you do more good things. And Don't Die Rusty is one of my good things, I think, because it's not only inspired me, but it's inspired other people that I've had conversations with, and it's inspired some of you listeners. And I believe that the hope that we give is the good things in this world. And I believe that I never, ever, when we started Don't Die Rusty, I never, ever wanted to be pigeonholed. I never wanted to be labeled this is that type of a podcast, because I want to talk to so many different people. And that's the big deal about life. You do not educate yourself. You do not learn if you do not talk to different people you don't believe in. If you're in the same tribe every day, if you're in the same tribe and listen to the same stuff every day, how do you learn anything? How do you learn what that culture is like? Or how do you learn what that culture is like? And how do you learn about yourself if you do not ask questions of yourself? How? You know, when you talk to different people, they have different ideas. And you can either start to get the mind turning and say, that's a good thought. Or you can start thinking about yourself and you go, I really don't believe in that, what that guy or girl is saying. But you know what? I do believe more in what I am believing. I believe stronger. And you know what? I'll say that. I'll say that to the next time I have a conversation. But if we don't have different people or different ideas come into our lives, how do we even grow? I've taken, and I'm talking about, I'm talking about people, but I've taken people out hunting that have never hunted before and gave them an experience that they never had. Now, I've taken out people that will never want to shoot anything themselves. And I've taken out people that have never hunted and they've shot something. But I look at both sides of the story. And they may see some people that don't want to shoot anything, they may say, I don't want to shoot it myself, but I understand. I understand why you're doing this. And that's what it's about, is finding that common ground. And I'm youth hunting because that's my best example, because that's what I do. It's some of the time. I'm changing a little bit. It isn't as important to me as it used to be. It used to be like number one. I took a lot of time away from loved ones, and now it's a different story. I want to live, and I want to be the best me. And to be the best me isn't to be so obsessed with what's going on with everything. Like, I used to be obsessed with hunting. I used to be obsessed with other things, softball, other things. And now I'm realizing that when I get to my deathbed, I don't want to be just one thing. I want to say I did as much as I could. And like I said, I love being in the woods, and I love the smells, the sounds, the sights and the views and the animals. But I want people to know that Rick was more than that. I want people to say, Rick is a good man. I want those people that I've wronged to see that I've changed, if they ever listen to this, to say that, he did some dumbass things when he was young or old or medium or wherever I've done some dumbass things, but I want him to say, he has a good heart. And the one thing I've always wanted to, always tried, I guess. I tried so hard. And I hope people out there and parents out there will say this to their kids. But the one thing I always wanted in life, and I always tried to prove, is I wanted to make my mom and dad proud. And of course, like I said earlier, some days I didn't do that. But as I grew older in the last 20 years, I hope I have proven that I'm a good person. And this isn't about just about me, but I hope I've proven that I'm a good person. So, because as I started out, this episode was with the deaths and with how the world is changing. And now I heard the song, "If I Were the Devil," and if that evil is walking the earth. But I don't believe that. I believe that there's evil, and I believe that there's going to be bad things that happen all the time, and we'll always, the first thing we'll say is, "Why Jesus?" or "Why God? Why?" But I have hope that we are becoming a better place. I see it every day. I see people being nice to each other, and I see the going out of the way to help other people. And I honestly believe that we are changing. We as a society are changing. We as Americans are changing. I can't say anything about any place else because I don't live there at the moment. I have not been there lately. But I see a toughness. I see a kindness. I see a love. I see the hate that spews from people's mouths being shoved back in it. And I think they're realizing we've got they've said enough. And that's good. That's really good. Because you can stop spewing the hate. You can stop burning down buildings. You can stop believing that you're something you're not. Because I think it used to be woke, but I think there's an awakening of God, spirituality, and life. And I think questions can be asked. Like I said earlier, and I think we need to stop saying that they're conspiracy theories or we're cults or all this other stuff, all this BS, and start looking within ourselves and saying, is that a good thing to do? Are you a good person? And when we start looking within ourselves and saying, would a good person do that? What would God do? What would Jesus do? Because here's the deal, and we've talked about this earlier in other episodes too. If I read the Bible, if we're talking about Bible, people in the Bible, I really like Psalms because I like David, because I like that he has made mistakes and he's hopefully learned from his mistakes. Now, that's what we're at right now. And I just want to make this world a better place. So each day I'm going to keep on posting my posts, and I'm going to keep on talking to some cool people. And I'm going to keep on putting out the Don't Die Rusty mantra of keep chasing your dreams, being the best you, and live your best life. But look within yourself and find out if that is what makes you tick. What makes you the best you? What would make you live your best life? It's not hurting people, not knocking them down. It's lifting people up. And that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm trying to lift everybody up. And that's what Don't Die Rusty is about. So I know this seems odd, but I just wanted to get this episode out. And I wanted to maybe vent a little bit because I am saddened by the deaths of Charlie, of Ernia, of the kids. But we can't blame the weapon. We need to blame the people. And to do that, we need to look within ourselves. What makes us the best of us? What makes life the best? What gives us hope? What in this whole world gives us hope? I have Cindy's gone to Alaska right now. And she's going to be a grandma. And to see the light, to see the smile, to see the nervousness, to see the love, that makes me happy. Anticipation of her being a grandma, it makes me smile. And I was one that said I felt lucky that I didn't bring any children into this world because, my gosh, the way it was going. But I have hope. I have hope that this world is changing. And now sometimes I feel sad, but I'm happy to see that energy in her face. I'm happy to see her, like I said, smile. That is good. And I'm happy to see when you help other people, when you come into a room and you smile, when you come into a room and ask somebody how they are, how's your day? Be specific. What did you do today? What are you dreaming about? What's a good life to you? Go in and ask people some good questions. Ask them how they really are. Make them smile. Give them hope. Because not everybody has hope, but give them hope. Because I work sometimes with a bunch of pessimists. But give them hope. There is nothing that can stop a person if they have hope. It's like the movies where you have nothing to lose and good things happen. You have nothing to lose by giving somebody a smile. You have nothing to lose by giving somebody hope. You have nothing to lose by saying something good to another person. Why bring them down? Don't. Lift them up. Make them feel like they are special. Do that to one person. Do that to many. And then see how you feel. Because when you lift others people up, you lift yourself up. And that is why I love being in this world right now. Because I'm going to lift up everybody that I feel deserves it, and I'm going to lift up people that I don't even know. So I'm going to come to an end here. But I want you to be the best you. And I want you to keep chasing your dreams. And I want you to smile. So, with that being said, I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate you all. And let's make this world a better place. Let's believe. Let's put that big sign up and say, believe. And remember, it's up to us to make this world a better place. It's up to us to have people smile, and it's up to us to lift people up. So let's do that. So I want to give my condolences to Charlie, to Irna, to anybody else that has been hurt. But let's make this world a better place. Let's make everybody that's left us proud. So anyway, keep chasing your dreams, being the best you. Don't die rusty. And just keep living your best life. Love you all. And I hope we'll have a guest on the next episode, and let's keep changing the world. Love y'all.